Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty big happening over in Japan. It's this incredible tension where the push for clean, renewable energy is crashing right into the need to protect the country's amazing natural landscapes. So, to get started, picture this: a huge, sprawling landscape of marsh and water. We're talking about the single largest wetland in all of Japan. Now, I'm going to throw a number at you. Over 2,000. In a place like this, what do you think that could possibly mean? Well, it's not a random number. That's how many different species of plants and animals call this one ecosystem home. That is an insane amount of life all packed into one place. This incredible place, it has a name: the Kushiro Wetland. And because it's the biggest, it was also the very first site in the entire country to be registered under the Ramsar Convention. That's basically a big international stamp of approval for the world's most important wetlands. So this isn't just a local park, it's globally significant. But here's the twist. This treasure, this absolute sanctuary for all kinds of rare creatures, is now facing what our source material calls its greatest crisis ever. And the thing causing this crisis? Well, on the surface, it sounds like something we'd all want, right? Renewable energy? But, as they say, the devil is always in the details. Okay, so let's get specific. What exactly is putting this vital habitat at risk? The source material points to one major threat. The answer? Megasolar. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. We're not talking about a few panels on a roof. Think massive, sprawling solar farms, projects that literally blanket huge areas of land with panels, all to generate power on an industrial scale. But here's where it gets really interesting. What's happening at the Kushiro Wetland? That's not an isolated incident, not by a long shot. To really get what's going on, we gotta zoom out, because this exact same fight is breaking out all over Japan. And this is a key takeaway from our sources. This isn't just a local story, it's a national one. I mean, just look at this. The sources point to citizen petitions popping up all across the country, from Hokkaido way up north down to Hiroshima. You've got people fighting to protect wetlands, forests, even the springs that provide their drinking water. It's happening everywhere, and the pattern is it's impossible to ignore. This just begs the question, right? Why? Why is this happening in so many places all at once? Well, according to the source material, the real reason is a lot deeper than you'd expect. Your first thought might be, okay, they're just building these things where the land is cheap or where it's sunny. But the source we're looking at says, nope, that's not the whole story. The real drivers are kind of buried. In fact, the source uses this one really powerful phrase to describe the whole situation. It calls it a nationally invited blunder. So what on earth does that mean, nationally invited? Well, it suggests this isn't about a few rogue companies. The phrase points the finger at something bigger, something systemic. The idea is that national policies, or just the overall situation in the country, have, maybe without meaning to, created the perfect storm for this exact conflict to happen. So when you're facing a problem that big, where does the solution come from? Well, it's not coming from the top. It's bubbling up from the ground, from local communities taking a stand. Yeah, people across Japan are definitely not just sitting back and watching this happen. They're getting organized, they're making noise, and they're using formal petitions to try and stop these developments dead in their tracks to protect their local environment. And this right here, this is the heart of the conflict, boiled down. On one side, you have the goal of generating huge amounts of clean energy by using what looks like open land. But on the other side, you have people whose goal is to protect those exact same places. The wetlands, the forests, the water sources. It's two totally different and frankly competing visions for the very same piece of land. And that leaves us right here with the massive question that this whole situation brings up. And there is no easy answer. It really gets to the core of what we're all trying to figure out globally. How do we get the clean energy we desperately need without sacrificing the irreplaceable nature that we also desperately need? How do you find that balance? That's the real dilemma.